Hello everyone, I am Harsh Patel and today I am going to give you the demonstration of my project. So the project is Medical RAG Chatbot. So basically it is a RAG based application that uses a knowledge base that stores the vector embeddings of medical documents to answer the user query. Now let's talk about the tech stack that I use for building this project. So for backend I use FastAPI and I use LangChain for RAG orchestration, and for my large language model I use Gemini API and I use Pinecone DB as my knowledge base. I deployed this whole project on AWS EC2 machine, and I also set up a CI/CD pipeline with the help of GitHub Actions.
Okay, so here is the demo of my project. As I deployed my project on AWS EC2, I could access it on port 8080 of the public IP address of my EC2 machine. Now let me show you how it works. When you provide it with some query, it will retrieve the similar documents from the knowledge base and provide us with a suitable response. If we ask it with something that is not in the knowledge base, it will not provide any session like that. And it will retain the conversion memory. And if we say something like hi or thank you, it will not retrieve any documents. It will just respond directly. That's it.
Alright, so let me tell you about the key features of my project. First is smart query classification. So basically, if the user just say hi or thank you, the bot will not perform a retrieval operation on the knowledge base. It will just respond directly. Second, RAG pipeline. I built the whole RAG pipeline in a modular way, so everything is organized in separate files. Third, real-time streaming. The response generated by the LLM will be shown to the user word by word. Fourth, conversation memory. So the bot will remember the last messages so that it could understand the context of the conversation better. And lastly, I deployed the whole project on AWS EC2 machine and set up a CI/CD pipeline. So all the changes that I made in the project will be reflected in the production. And here's the project structure that I followed for making this project. So now let me tell you about how I created the knowledge base for my project. So at the very first, I extracted the text from medical PDFs in form of chunks. Then I converted that chunks of text into vector embeddings using a Hugging Face embedding model. Then I store that embeddings into a vector store so that it could be used later at the time of retrieval. Let me tell you about the retrieval process of my project. So when the user makes a query, the bot will determine whether the query needs a retrieval or not. If the query does not need a retrieval, then it will respond with a predefined response. Otherwise, the query will be converted into a vector embedding using the same Hugging Face model. Then, using that vector embedding, we will perform a cosine semantic search in the vector store. Then the vector store will provide us with the most similar document to the user query. Then we will form a prompt using a prompt template that consists of the system prompt, the human query, the retrieved documents, and the conversion memory. Then we will provide this prompt as an input to the LLM, then the output will be streamed to the user. So here is the CI/CD pipeline for my project. So whenever I push any changes to GitHub, the GitHub actions will trigger a CI job where it will build a new Docker image and push the image to AWS ECR. Then my EC2 machine will pull that latest image from the ECR and will run a new container. Then if both the jobs are completed successfully, then the changes will be reflected on the web page. Okay, so now let me tell you about the future enhancement. I'm planning to add a proper authentication with JWT tokens or via third-party authentication service. Second, we could also implement caching with Redis DB so that the inference could be faster. Third, we could deploy our project with Kubernetes so that it can handle more users automatically. Fourth, we could store our conversation history in a persistent database. And lastly, we could add some monitoring tools to track how everything is performing. Thank you.